Welcome to the first ever episode of the Sporting Burst. This is the house of all sports. We're going to be talking about everything related to the sports world. It's basketball, football, hockey, baseball, soccer, you name it. We're going to be talking about it every Monday and Friday. So remember, a new episode every Monday and Friday. You don't want to miss it because we're going to be bringing a lot of great stuff. And this is the first of many to come with your hosts here, Andre and Dylan. So if you don't want to miss any of our episodes, go ahead and click the subscribe button right now. If you want to also follow us on our socials, go ahead and like and follow in Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff. You already know how to do it. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff, aren't we?
We have plenty of topics to cover today. We have week 18 of NFL, right? Like the whole picture of playoffs already in the panorama, right? We have also NCAA next tomorrow, actually, right?
It's gonna be
So we have
finals tomorrow.
the finals tomorrow, and we have a lot of other sports to cover, a lot of other news to cover as well. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about sports, what we
It's gonna be
love.
excited. It's gonna be exciting.
So
'Cause
yeah,
it's a great season for sports right now. Obviously, headed into the postseason with the NFL, a lot of great action. You already know all the matches that are coming are going to be fire. So, yeah, we should probably jump ahead into the action and start talking about it because we saw a lot of great games this weekend. Again, a lot of teams were playing life or death, and a lot of them obviously died already. So, a lot of seasons are over.
a lot of them were already dead, but
Yeah,
yeah, some of
like,
them with
like
little
your
hope.
Giants, I'm
No, yeah,
sorry.
let's
Yeah,
not talk
they were
about the
just
Giants.
they were
Let's
just
talk
so
about the number of the draft pick that they're gonna have,
yeah,
maybe.
but that's
But
what you
yeah,
have to be talking every year. That's so sad.
I know.
But anyways, there's other teams that actually managed to get a place in the postseason. So we should probably go ahead and talk about it because this first game we're gonna be covering is the Ravens the Steelers, and that's one of those that define a new team that was just playing for their life, right?
Nobody believed
Nobody
in
thought they were
Steelers.
gonna,
No,
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to think that a team that struggles so much during the season, right, had the chance during the last week, but this is the NFL, so
Everything can happen, and actually everything happened because obviously they were dependent on another game that happened just today, which was the Jacksonville game. We're gonna be talking about that later,
yeah.
because thanks to Jacksonville, or maybe thanks to Tennessee, I should say, the Steelers are in the postseason.
Yeah, actually, and not only that, but also, I mean, they were playing against the Ravens, the best team, right? Or probably one of the best
Yeah,
teams, right?
for
In
sure.
NFL right now. So definitely something that it was a tough. It was a
Yeah,
tough
it was a tough matchup,
week.
but
And
obviously we should say that the Ravens were saving a lot of their starter
yeah, yeah,
players, right? So Lamar was not playing. A lot of their, starting players were not playing. Nonetheless, it's still a great team, and it was all in the hands of the Steelers. Like they needed to take care of their business first, right? And they did. They won the game, and the only negative thing I should say happened to them, after now knowing that they're part of the postseason, is that TJ Watt got
yeah.
injured. So that's a great loss for them. It's a defensive player of the year candidate that they are potentially losing for the postseason. We don't know the severity of his injury just yet, but they might lose him. And boy, did they need him. Like every single piece of his game is so necessary for the success of this team, and they might not have him.
In thinking that they're going to play against Bills, right? They're gonna have to visit the Bills. So that's gonna be tough for them. To be very honest, and I don't want to jump into conclusions, but I don't see the Steelers moving forward. However, I know what you're going to say. I know we're talking about the NFL. We're talking about the Steelers. I mean, great coaching, memorable team, right? Like it's a team that
Yeah.
it's always fighting. But if Josh Allen's healthy, we might we
Yeah,
might see just the end of the season for
which
the
actually
Steelers,
seems
right?
to be the something positive for Buffalo. We're gonna be talking about Buffalo later as well, but they just caught fire when mattered the most, right? Towards the end of the season, they kind of found themselves again, and that's something that they really needed. But going back to the Steelers, it's still one of those teams that you don't want to face, right? Like it's because, like you said, everything can happen. It's just one game, and this team, from what I've seen, and we talk about this off camera a little bit earlier. It's a team that if they are within reach going towards the end of the game, the fourth quarter, if it's a one possession game or something like that, it's a really dangerous team because they have a pretty strong defense. We know Mike Tomlin, their head coach, it's a heavily defensive focused head coach, so they are hard to beat. I would say, right? Like they are
Yeah,
tough,
yeah.
and again, it could be a matter of luck, right? Maybe a loose ball, something like that, can change the history of every game. So it's a team to look up for. I myself will not bet for them either, but all I'm saying is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
if
I
you're the
get it.
Bills, who are gonna be their matchup, I mean, you need to be careful still.
Yes, yes. No, I completely agree. However, I do believe they're not gonna move forward. For me, it's going to be the Bills.
Clip it,
They're on
clip it.
fire right now. They're on fire, and even though Josh Allen had two interceptions today, he managed at the end of the game to make good plays and to be the Josh Allen that we're expecting him to be in these type of games, right? So
Right.
if he continues in that line, on that line, I mean, I think he's going to be able to carry the team against the Steelers, probably with a couple of touchdowns
We'll
difference.
see. We'll
So
see.
we'll see. I
We'll
know,
see what
I'm
happens. We'll
taking
see
a
what
risk,
happens.
but I don't
It's
think
it's. I mean, they're gonna be at home. Obviously, we know that the weather in Buffalo is gonna be crazy
yeah,
because it's what happens there. So we'll see how they adjust. And before we move into the next one, I mean, the Ravens are coming strong. They're gonna have the bye week. Lamar
yeah,
Jackson is probably, in my opinion, and it's almost certain that he's gonna be the MVP of this season.
yeah.
So yeah, the Ravens are a really good team right now. Their defense is great. Their offense is rolling. I mean, they're certainly one of the favorites.
Yes. However, I would like to see how everything goes the next, of course, in 15 days, because we're talking about a bye week plus a week in which you're not playing. So it's 2 weeks kind of like inactive, right? Not playing. You are also in a good um, you're in a good position here, of course, for the Ravens. But I still believe that 2 weeks without playing for an offensive um, component, right? That's it's so strong that it's on fire as well. I don't know
They
if
get play
that's
against it.
gonna
Yeah,
play against them.
yeah. We know that happens every year. The teams that go the first seeds, they get the bye. That's sometimes positive, sometimes it's not. So we'll see how it plays for the Ravens. But boy, that Lamar Jackson
Yeah,
dude is just
I
he's
know.
just
He's
balling right now. He's playing like crazy. But anyways, we're
we've
moving
seen
into.
him
Go
fell
go for
down,
it.
right?
Of course, that's
In the
uh, that's
past.
that's the knock that everybody puts on his shoulder. Every year, he has somewhat of a decent position to go through the playoffs and move forward from the first round, and they sometimes disappoint. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we know that the Ravens are that type of team that sometimes just don't deliver as expected. But this year, if from all the years that we have seen them go through this kind of season, I think this is potentially the best chance they have
Yeah.
that I can think of at least.
He has a lot of weapons,
Yeah,
right, around him. So
a lot. Himself, I mean, he is a weapon himself,
yeah.
just by himself. So yeah, the next game we have to talk about because it also defined a lot of of things yesterday. And it was supposed to be a really close and very competitive game. It was the Colts against the Texans. The Texans managed to win that game and through that secure a spot in the postseason.
Yeah.
So we'll
And
see.
not only that, the Texans managed to have a great season
Actually,
overall. I don't think. I mean, if they lose the first game playoffs,
it's
even
still
if they
somewhat of a
lose,
success. Yeah,
I don't know, like 40 something 7, let's say. I mean, they had a great season um, with a quarterback that is a rookie.
yeah. I mean, CG Stroud is watch out because he's
Yes,
coming.
exactly,
He is
exactly. So
coming. He is
definitely
for me. He's the rookie of the year. By the way, I mean,
good choice. Yeah, yeah,
easily for me, he should be the rookie of the year.
good choice. But yeah, definitely he's putting the bar very high for the
He's got
rest.
the DNA. It looks like he's
Yes.
gonna be a tough quarterback. And he's gonna be a great leader for the Texans, which went through a very weird period with all the Deshaun Watson
Hmm.
stuff, and then he got traded and everything, and everybody thought that the Texans were probably gonna be forgotten for a minute, but it seems like they're coming, and yeah, it's gonna be their first playoff appearance since 2019, which, by the way, I think was with Deshaun Jackson Watson. Pardon me, Deshaun
Yeah.
Jackson. Imagine Deshaun Watson. So yeah, it's an interesting team. It's a bright future, I will say, for the Texans. Maybe not to win it all this year, but who knows?
But with some additions, a good draft, there might be
Yeah,
contenders for next year, definitely, or the years to come as well. I think the Texans definitely had a great season. We'll see how it goes in playoffs, but it's a team that it's fun to watch as well.
yeah.
When you watch their games, it's definitely fun. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, the Texans that are gonna have to go and face. Well, actually, I should say Cleveland is gonna go to Texas and play that game in the next round. So we'll see how that goes as well.
Cleveland with
Uh,
the old man.
yeah, with a very old man. Yeah, Joe Flacco,
Yeah.
and all the injuries that's
Yes.
part of this season. It's been a trend, but yeah, for Cleveland in the quarterback position, it's been a mess. But yeah, they have Joe Flacco. He came to the rescue, and it seems like it's paying off with a great defense as well for Cleveland. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. Again, for a rookie quarterback like CJ Stroud, it's probably going to be a tough team to face because, again, it's a very experienced defense, and it's a really tough one as well. So,
But it's a great test for a quarterback that it's trying to make his way right
yeah,
within the NFL,
absolutely.
right? So I think it's gonna be um, a good test for him as well. And we'll see how it goes with him. I think independently on how it goes, he's gonna get a great experience in his rookie year that will teach him a lot moving forward, right?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's about the Saturday's games. We should probably move into Sunday. A lot of action as well, a lot of games, and one of those that, like we mentioned earlier, was supposed to decide a lot of things. It was Tennessee against Jacksonville. So the Jaguars, they had in their hands everything they needed to actually go to the postseason. They just needed to win the game. It was literally in their hands. They didn't depend on anybody else. They didn't depend on any other results. It was
Against a
just
team that had nothing to lose, nothing to win.
yeah, exactly. Tennessee. So kudos and shout out to Tennessee for not tanking, because that's
Yeah.
always a discussion, right? Like teams at this time of the year, normally, especially those that are already don't have anything to play for, they're playing for the draft. And we saw teams today that were supposed to be tanking, not tank, which is great because Tennessee was one of those. The Giants were
Yeah.
another team that could have just lost the game on purpose or whatever. And it seems like they came to play in the last week.
Yeah, and it's good to see those things, right? Even more in a league that it's so competitive, in facing the last week and everything. Like you expect teams to actually go out in the field and and fight, right?
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah. I mean, I wish the Giants
Would have gotten
would have.
the first draft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's like
it's okay. It's okay. I mean, at the end of the
no.
day, it's about sports. It's about winning.
It's
It's
about competing.
it's
it's about that spirit. Yeah,
competing
for
in
sure.
that spirit, and yeah, I'm glad, as well as you said, that that's not happening, or at least that we didn't see it
Yeah.
during those games, at least.
Yeah, and there is also something important to mention about that game, which was potentially it looks like it was Derek Hendricks' last game for Tennessee. He's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
free agent next season, and he even gave a speech at the end of the game and everything.
Oh, okay.
So he might not come back to Tennessee. At least that's what it seems like.
Yeah, and I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
He
mean,
might
he's wasting his prime, literally. Like
definitely.
he needs to go somewhere else where he can have other weapons, where he can have a better, more solid quarterback that can just take him
Yeah.
to the promised land because
In
he's
in
just
you
such a
in
talent.
your prime with such a short, you know, lifespan
Yeah,
for a
running back
for a
slash
running
halfback, which
back.
is
Yeah,
the new
it's
name of the
it's
position.
you
Yeah,
you you want to have, and even in terms of on monetary terms as well. You want to have a good contract
yeah.
that
I mean,
can.
he can get paid a lot of money,
Yeah.
so we'll see who gets interested, and who wants to build a super team. Maybe you never know. Maybe Miami jumps in. I don't know. I don't know how the cap. I haven't looked into that just yet, but we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna have plenty of time to talk about the offseason
Yes.
later. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because wherever he lands, he's gonna make that team and elevate them, make them better for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, that was a another match that happened today. The other one.
Yeah. So before we move into that,
Okay. Okay.
just one question, just to see what you think. Is it a disappointing season for the Jacks?
I mean, definitely. It, at least I would expect them to be in postseason right now. Um, they just, I mean, for me, the expectation for them was to be in. That's it. So
Yeah.
it didn't happen. Uh, with all of the weapons that they had, the experience they already have, right? Good seasons in the past years as well. That's what you expect for them, right? And it didn't happen. I think it's probably um, it was probably the best for them, I guess, as of now, because I don't think they were going to be as good in the postseason as they could. But still, it's disappointing season for them with everything that they had. Great players as well. So
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about it being disappointed for me is how it ended, right? Because and a lot of ups and downs, like a lot of other stuff that happened throughout the season, but the way it ended, right? It was so heartbreaking because at the end, like I said before, they had it in their hands. Like they just needed to beat Tennessee, right? It didn't have to be a perfect game. It didn't have to be pretty.
yeah.
Nothing. They just needed to get the W, and they didn't. And I think that's the most disappointed aspect
And
of it.
against the team, that's what it's so frustrating. Like at the end, you're getting there with the chance, right? And you arrive to week 18th with the chance to just, and even controlling your faith, your destiny, right? They had it in
Yeah.
their hands. And against the team, against Jacksonville Jaguars. I
The
mean,
Tennessee, the Titans against the Titans.
against the Titans. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. You're right. So yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking. But uh, I don't know if it's heartbreaking for me. I mean, I would expect more from them, from a team that it's competing to be in the
Bro, I
playoffs,
just want
right?
to see Trevor Lawrence succeed, bro. Like, it's the prince. I mean, come on. He was supposed to be the next Manning or whatever you want to
Not,
compare
su-
him
not
to, but
I'm not such a fan. I
I,
don't.
I, I am I am kind of a fan, I would say, but
I'm not.
again, there's still a lot to learn. It's still a lot to go through before we can see him, and it's not gonna be easy because they're gonna have to see a lot of the CG Strouds again, and all of these guys that are also coming.
Revealed a lot.
Yeah, so
a lot of
he's
things.
not gonna have an easy path to winning his division year by year. So we'll see what happens with them.
The thing with him, just of a final thought about it. The thing with him is that I don't see the franchise quarterback tag
Oh,
on him. You know,
you
when
think he's overrated then?
yes, I don't see him as a franchise quarterback right now for the big moments. That's in for me a franchise quarterback must be the quarterback that's able to go in the big moments and say, I'm here, I can take the team with me, I can carry you out and take you to where we want to be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
and I don't see him being
But he
that
has shown some
leader.
flashes of it, and I think one of the things that it's hard for him, or that I guess he has to face early in his career, was that their offensive line was not great. Like they have been working on it, and I think it got better. But I mean, the first year or two, it's it's very important to have that line that is going to give you the confidence that you need to just try to play your game, because at the end of the day, if you're going to be uncomfortable all the time, then you cannot showcase your abilities as
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I know, but still, I mean, we've seen quarterbacks that are able to still make it with those things,
Of
right? Like
course.
with those let's say roadblocks, right? So he still have a couple of things to prove so that
For sure.
I can say like
For sure.
he's good at least in this league, right?
I
That
mean,
he deserved.
the thing is that he came into the league with a lot of hype because of obviously his college career, right? Like, it was prolific
That's why I don't
with
like to put
Clemson, right?
expectations on players. But yeah, yeah, it's very
But it kind
normal.
of has to be a thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
we saw what he did in college. It was great, phenomenal, and then you expect kind of the same type of play level when they come to the
Yeah,
NFL,
but
and
it's
it's obviously a
so
different word,
different. It's
but yeah, we'll see what happens with the Prince. I still
different
have faith on
universe.
him.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, let's move on to the next one. What do we have?
We have Packers against Bears. Sorry,
Beers?
Packers
Oh, you want to
against.
drink a beer, huh? I
Yeah, yeah, I
see.
was
You're
thinking about a
thirsty.
beer.
With all these games,
Kind of late, so yeah,
with all these games and a long day, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Packers Bears. Again, another team that had in their hands the chance to go through the postseason, and they did manage to do it.
Kind of weak team for me. I'm not convinced about the Packers as well.
And
Like
we can't be. I mean, it's
it's one of those teams that I feel they got there just to fill out a spot, you know, like. But I don't see them competing in
but
the
it's an
playoffs.
interesting thing because we can say that the Packers are going through I guess, a transition stage, right? Like obviously we know that they traded Aaron Rodgers, and you know, going out from a one of the most elite quarterbacks that we have
Yeah.
have in past obviously 20 years to a not technically not a rookie, because Jordan Love is not a rookie anymore. It's a tough transition, right? It's gonna take time to develop a team like that. And one of the interesting things about this team is that the Packers is the fifth youngest team in the playoffs in all the history of the NFL. So
Okay.
average team, a lot of these guys are pretty young in their first or second year. So that tells you something about this team, that it's interesting, and it's obviously positive for their future, right? Because if they're this young and they can still manage to go through a tough season and get a place in the postseason, I mean, everything from here, it's just gonna be added value for their season.
It's a bright future for them. I believe that, yes, but still, like right now, they're facing the Cowboys, right? If I'm not
They
wrong,
are
they're
gonna be
facing
facing the Cowboys.
Cowboys. They're gonna be
Yeah,
visiting the
they're
Cowboys.
they're gonna go to Dallas, so it's
Exactly,
obviously a lost cause. But
exactly. I
but like I said,
know, great
everything after
rivalry,
here
but
is,
sorry.
yeah, it's a great rivalry. But everything after here is added value, so it's experience that they're gonna have
Yeah, yeah.
coming into the next season. So And who knows? It's still, it could be a 0.0001% chance they win. It could happen, right?
Yes, yes. I mean,
Because
we've seen the Packers.
the same thing we talk about the Ravens, we should say about Dallas. They normally messed up when it matters the most, right?
Yes,
And
that's true. That's true.
this could be one of those.
I would expect Dallas to fail. Yes, because I'm a Giants fan, so I want them to fail, of course.
I mean, who doesn't want
But
Dallas to fail?
I
Okay,
know,
like
but I would expect them to fail later in the postseason because of the team that they have right now, right? So, and mainly because of Dak Prescott. Probably that's why I would expect them to fail. But
which, by the way, he's another one that who could have easily win
yeah,
the
the
MVP
MVP
award
this
this year.
year.
And
Yes.
he's been playing phenomenal.
not not the Lamar Jackson level, but that's a different discussion maybe.
Well,
However, I think the Packers are not going to be that team that will bring down the Dallas Cowboys, but definitely I would expect them at least to give some fight. I hope, but as you mentioned, it's gonna be great experience for them. Again, I don't expect them to compete in the playoffs. To be very honest, I don't see the level.
I mean, I would say everything
But
competes in the playoffs. I mean, that's the bare minimum you should expect, right? How well can they compete? It's a different thing, but everybody is gonna leave everything they have in their tank because it's just a one and
yeah,
done
but
type of deal.
with
You're
the
literally playing
defense,
this season, so you have to leave everything you have out there.
yes, I believe that. But with the defense that Dallas Cowboys have right now,
We'll see. There is a. We're gonna be talking, I think, a little bit about the matchups later. But Dallas, I mean, also, I think they lost. Who was it? Gilmore today, I think, to an injury. Um,
okay,
yeah, Stephon Gilmore got injured today, so that's another because Dix was already injured,
mm-hmm.
and now it's Stephon Gilmore. So it's two major losses to Dallas's defense, which it's still
Yeah,
loaded. They still have some great players defensively that can carry that defense. But I mean, two of the best defensive players are not gonna be available. But yeah, I'm with you. Obviously, we all expect Dallas to take care of this business at least. Um, but anyways, I mean, it's still a positive season for the Packers.
yeah, definitely.
Going into the postseason,
I think it's the other way around than Tennessee, right?
right?
Totally.
Yeah, yeah. So Jordan Love's future is interesting. It seems like that those years that he spent under Aaron Rodgers are paying off because he
Yeah.
looks like a pretty mature quarterback right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the Packers can build around him and if he is gonna be their quarterback for the future as well. I know the other team on the other side of this matchup that we're talking, the Bears and the Packers, they have to decide what to do with their quarterback actually, because they have the first round, the first draft pick
Yes.
coming their way, and we know who's
Thank you.
available.
Yeah. And in as well, well, they're gonna have a couple of top 10 picks, right?
Yeah, they can build a
So
pretty interesting team. Obviously, it's gonna take time to develop, but Caleb Williams, which seems to be the projected number one draft pick, of course, is a major talent, greatly developed quarterback of USC, and I mean, he seems to be an NFL ready quarterback right now. But they have Justin Fields, and so it's an interesting
question for you:
position.
what will you do?
I'll take Caleb Williams for sure, because I mean, Justin Fields had the time to and the reps, right, to prove that he can
But
take this care.
it's the same that happens with I forgot the name, Jesus, um,
No,
with
what happened to
Tennessee's
Jesus?
quarterback.
Who? Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee quarterback.
Who, Tannehill? Who else?
Oh, sorry, Jacksonville quarterback.
Trevor,
Trevor Williams.
Trevor
Yes.
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah, the Jackson.
getting.
It's the hour of the. I know.
Yeah,
It's
it's
late.
the hour. Sorry.
Too many games, too many names, too many stats in our heads. All right, so
I know. But yeah, again, it's about that, right? I think it's the same example. Because I mean, the team he has had during these years, it's definitely not a winning team. It's not it's not a team that you can say it's going to I can take to the next level, right? Or to playoffs at least. So I mean, I don't think he has had the chances like as of now. I would do the same as you, right? I would definitely move uh, from him, but
I think the problem with Justin Fields is that, I mean, with Trevor Lawrence, at least you see the flashes of what he was, right? And what he can be. I think with Justin Fields, what we're lacking is that evidence that he can be that next level quarterback that can take Chicago out of this lump, right? And I think that's where the heaviest aspect of this decision will come from them, which is I don't think we have the evidence to say we can trust this
yeah,
guy for our future, right? And so I think I will go and reset honestly. And again, it's just too much of a risk to let Caleb Williams pass by in front of your hands, and maybe he becomes who
yeah,
knows,
yeah. I mean,
right?
I would do the same. I would do
Yeah.
exactly the same. It's just that, yeah, probably for him, uh, for Trevor as well. I think it's going to be about, or for me, would be more about moving to a different team.
Yeah,
That's something that would give them that chance. And it doesn't have to be a top team, but a team that can, like bring
yeah, a team
fresh air
that
for
needs,
them.
yeah, because you can think about the Patriots, for instance. It's an interesting team that could look up for a new quarterback because things are not working there with Mac Jones. So they're kind of the
No,
same
no,
in the same position, which is they might use the services of somebody else, and we'll see
they
what
have the
happens.
second pick, Patriots,
Yeah, they do.
right?
So, but there's a couple of interesting quarterbacks. I think there's like 3 or 4 quarterbacks in this
Yeah.
draft class that could
I
be
wish
very
the
interesting.
Giants would could get one as well,
That
but
is
well,
so unfortunate. But anyways, that's Bears and Packers. So again, the Packers are gonna be heading to Dallas, trying to make the impossible happen. So we'll see what happens
we'll see how it
with
goes.
that game. And then finally, we had Bills and Dolphins, which again define a lot of actually the
Just finished.
yeah, it's a freshly um, finished game, and so the Bills managed to win the game, which ended up making all the playoff picture come to conclusion
Yeah.
because the Dolphins are going to be heading to Kansas to face Mahomes and the boys, and
Nobody wants to face Kansas. I mean, it's
hasn't
not the
been
team.
it
It's
hasn't
not the
been the
team.
same it hasn't been the same team. It's been a little bit of a slow, not great season for them. But yeah, it's still Mahomes, it's still Travis Kelsey, it's still Jones. I mean, they still have the weapons.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
you don't
for
want to
me,
face them.
it's an offense. It's a team that can score in just like 40 seconds.
Yeah, because of
Still,
Mahomes, right? It's not
yes.
because of their wide receivers. We know they don't have the weapons right now. Um, it's just
Not the
travel.
ones that they
Yeah,
used to have, or
it's not
not
the
at the
same.
level.
By the way, um, the Dolphins heading into Kansas means that Tyreek Hill is gonna be facing his former teammates. He's gonna go
Yes.
back to Kansas and try to make this thing happen for Miami now, which will be an interesting matchup. Um, we'll see.
Yeah, and we'll see how Tua manages the pressure in that
In
in
the real deal now, yeah, yeah, because
yeah,
it's been again
in that
a season of
scenario.
ups and downs. It looks for a moment that Dolphins were gonna crush the entire league, midway through the season, and then they started losing badly. Some of the couple last game they lost badly, and they lose to the Bills today as well.
And
So
he couldn't manage the pressure today. He couldn't do it. Like
yeah,
like an interception, the last drive. like 40 seconds in the clock, something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was devastating.
again, those are the type of things, the type of plays that
That
define a
mattered the
quarterback.
most. Yeah,
Yeah,
mattered
so
the most.
we'll see how it goes because, I mean, if they were if they won, if they would have won, then
It
they
would have
would
been a completely different picture. Yeah,
exactly they would be receiving the
they
Bills
will be.
next
Yeah,
week.
they will be hosting the Bills.
So it
But
was an important match. It was
it
a lot
was
of
the
pressure on
most
them.
important match because it defined um, a lot of things again. And now we know that the Dolphins will have to go to Kansas, so it's gonna be tougher because now they're not gonna be playing at home. They're gonna have to be playing in the cold because Kansas. It's also one of those
Yes.
places where the weather is gonna get hectic at this time of the year. So it's no longer the 90 degrees that they normally have in Miami.
Miami.
So it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting to see how they handle that. As per the Bills, they are starting to look like the team they used to be or they have been in the past couple of seasons. Josh
Yeah.
Allen's looking good again, and again they're cutting fire, and we mentioned it before in the right time of the year, and they're gonna be hosting the Steelers. So we talk a little bit about it. The Steelers season hasn't been great, and we wouldn't expect them to beat the Bills right now. But
Yeah.
again, it's a
I already
pretty
said it.
interesting
I
matchup.
already said it.
It's a really interesting
Bills
matchup,
moving right
nonetheless. Yeah,
to the next
and
stage.
again, it's gonna be a great postseason. I mean,
Definitely.
the
We're gonna have
the
great
matchups are gonna be on
matches.
fire,
Yes.
on fire.
So just prepare some beers,
Prepare your soul, your heart, your
prepare your
spirits for a
couch.
lot of emotions next week.
Yes, and just turn on the
And I
TV
don't know,
and
there's
enjoy.
something telling me that there is gonna be some surprises
I
next
wish, I
weekend.
hope. I mean,
There is gonna be some surprises next weekend. I don't know.
I hope, I really hope that's what I'm expecting. I mean, I I, I need to be realistic when I say like who I expect to win, but I really hope that
It's the best thing that can happen
we
to the league.
can get
Whenever there is
some
an upset,
surprises.
there is always
Yes.
more
I would
engaging
love the
games.
Packers to move forward. I
Just
would love that,
because,
but
yeah, we'll see what happens. Dallas, it's prone
yes,
to it's prone to mess up when it matters the most, like
yeah,
I
yeah.
said. So,
But
but yeah, let's summarize what's gonna be happening in the playoff picture. We're gonna be talking a little bit more about this in the next episode. So if you want to know what our predictions are gonna be in full about the postseason, don't miss the next
even
episode.
scores.
All right, don't miss the next episode. That's gonna be coming next Friday. All right, but just to summarize, what the matchups are gonna be looking like, NFC. So the Niners, we already know, are the first seed. Another team that is we didn't talk about them earlier, but it's a team that it's same to the Ravens, are crushing everybody. It seems like they
Same
could win it
picture.
all.
It's exactly the same picture. Some good players had
Some
the
good players, they are stacked, brother. Like,
yeah, no. I mean, I know
you
they're
know,
full.
it's
They're a full
crazy.
house in terms of
McAfee, I mean, you
good
name it,
players.
Bosa,
But
Chase Young.
they didn't play today. They're not gonna play next week. It's going to be 15 days, right, without playing a real match. We'll see how it
Yeah, yeah,
goes.
but
I just
I think that they will be fine. I think they will be just fine. If I were to choose between who could disappoint between the Ravens and the Niners, I think it's the Ravens. I think I would take the Niners to be better.
it would be a bigger disappointment
Now I'm not saying
if the
they will win at
Niners,
all, but
yes, if the Niners fall in the same in the first match, right?
I don't know. I don't know because they. I mean, I know that the biggest potentially the most important aspect of whether or not the Niners are successful is Brock Purdy, right? Like, can he deliver at the brightest stages, the brightest lights that are gonna be coming his way with this team? That's the ultimate question. And I wouldn't say that it will be a bigger disappointment. Pardon me, to see the Niners lose rather than the Ravens, because the Ravens, they do have their quarterback that should be able to pull through and should be able to carry the team. you should. I mean, we can say that the Niners don't. I mean, he's good, but we aren't all convinced that he's that great quarterback that can take
I
whatever team
know,
to the
but
next level.
let's. I mean, the Niners are a great team overall. Like
Just like the Ravens.
in every single line,
Just like the
they're
Ravens.
amazing. They're amazing. I, I would I would put them like one step above the Ravens.
Just because they pay more doesn't mean that.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, Lamar Jackson is still a pretty expensive player, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
For me, it
saying.
would be a bigger disappointment if I see the Niners not moving
Well,
forward.
let's agree to disagree, okay, brother. I would say that it's gonna be. You're gonna let me hanging. Come on now. I will. I would say that the Niners.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens will be a bigger disappointment ahead of the Niners. But yeah, that's gonna
We'll
be a
see.
bye week. A bye week. I mean, on the NFC, the Niners again. Packers will visit Dallas. Um, the Rams are gonna be traveling to Detroit. We didn't talk about these two teams. Again, we're gonna be talking about all the predictions on the next episode, but that's just to match up Rams against Detroit. Detroit, a very successful season. They have turned things around after so many years of just being bad,
After
brother. They
an
just
entire
stink
life
for
of
so
being
long.
bad.
They yeah, they were so bad for so long, and it's so great to sometimes see this happen, right? Like
Yeah.
teams that and cities that deserve, because Detroit is a city that deserve a team that does better, and they are now. So that's great for them. Stafford is gonna be going back to Detroit as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So the Rams heading to Detroit, and that means Stafford's return. And just one quick thing that we saw, pretty impressive, that I put here in my notes. Not sure if you saw it, but Puka Nakua, sorry, uh, he's the rookie with most receiving yards. So he broke the record. That's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive. Yes.
For over 1,400 um, receiving yards for the rookie this year, Nakua, which is the real deal. And again, the Rams could potentially build something special if they move some pieces in the offseason, because we know they have Cup. I mean, Stafford's still there. And yeah, this rookie Nakua is coming strong. So we'll see what happens. And then the Eagles are going to be going and facing the Bucks, Tampa Bay. AJ Brown got injured
No.
today. So that was something huge that happened. It seems like it's a knee injury that it's not looking that bad. It seems like he's gonna be just fine to play the game, but we'll have to wait for more news on AJ Brown's status
So many injuries.
in the last week, and it's so
So
devastating
many
because it's the names that we're losing. Like I mentioned,
Mhm.
it's Stephon Gilmore for Dallas, AJ Brown for the Eagles. And just the last week is so terrible.
But yeah, overall, the whole season, so many injuries. I
So
mean,
many,
we
so many
cannot
quarterbacks,
even
so many. Everybody got
start.
injured. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
and their moms got injured this year. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, that's the NFC, and then the AFC. Again, we mentioned the Ravens are gonna be the bye team as the first seed. Then the Browns are gonna be traveling to Texas. The Dolphins are gonna be going to Kansas, and the Steelers are gonna go to Buffalo and try to pull the impossible over there. So yeah, that's a little bit of how the NFL ended the regular season. A lot of great stuff happened, a lot of emotions, a lot of great games, and
Yeah.
what's to come is going to be even better.
Well, yeah, yeah. Like the good stuff, it's what's coming. It's what we all expect. It's the most probably exciting time of the year for the
Always,
NFL, of
always.
course.
The next
So
month is going to be loaded,
January, yeah, it's going to
loaded with
be
great stuff. Yeah.
amazing.
But before we head into that, there is a little appetizer, which is a pretty big appetizer tomorrow. There's the NCAA final coming. Michigan against Washington.
Two
To win it all.
undefeated teams.
Two
facing
undefeated
each
teams.
other.
Michigan, the first seed. Washington, the second. So
Yes.
it couldn't be any perfect than this. The perfect season for one of the teams, it's guaranteed. And the other one is just going to lose the most important, and it's going to be devastating.
that's gonna be devastating. That's what I'm thinking about. Like I'm thinking of how hard it's going to be for the team that loses tomorrow.
I don't know. You can ask Tom Brady, maybe. Tom Brady knows about those things. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, but Michigan is the favorite according to the odds. It's a
yeah.
4.5 favorite right now, um, for the bets. And yeah, these two teams are impressive in their own ways. I think it's two different styles. Michigan, it's I would say it's a little bit of a more explosive team in regards of points, because if we check out the stats, we have 36 points per game for Michigan against 24.1 for Washington. Michigan is a more of a rushing team,
Hmm.
but Washington can throw the ball like crazy.
With a lot of weapons, with weapons that you would believe they're all going to be in the NFL,
Yeah, high
right?
prospects, a lot of talent for Michigan wide receivers, and not to mention their quarterback
Yeah,
Michael Penix Jr., which has thrown over 4,000 yards this year,
that's
4,648 yards.
that's impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive. But
That's
McCarthy doesn't
that's
have anything to envy because he has a 73% completion rate, which is pretty accurate. So both quarterbacks can pull plays when it matters the most, and we should see this
we
matchup head to head, and it's gonna be pretty exciting.
we have a couple of great teams. Definitely great offense for both teams, but I'm impressed as well about the defense that Michigan has.
Especially Michigan's. Yeah, I was actually
Yes.
call. I was gonna call out the opposite for Washington because Washington has a very bad passing defense, so the secondary is not great for them, and that's something that Michigan could try to explore and attack. Because, like I said, Michigan tends to rush more. Is a
Mhm.
rush first team, but if they see that, I mean, Washington has a lot of weaknesses back there. Maybe they can start throwing the ball early in the game and explore if that's going to be the way of beating that team.
I was looking at some stats as well, and I got these ones for the last game, right, against Alabama. 6 sacks, 3 for 13 in third down, and also um, they were able to keep Alabama under 116 passing yards.
Yeah, that's pretty. And
That's
it's Alabama we're talking about.
exactly. I
It's a
mean, we're not
juggernaut.
talking about like whatever team, right? Like
Yeah.
we're talking about a great
Yes.
team, right? So
Yes.
that for me, that was impressive. The way they played defensively,
Yeah,
it's
those were
something
great games, by the way.
exactly, exactly.
27-20, they beat Alabama last week,
And
right in
that's why
overtime.
that's why I expect a lot from tomorrow's game because we're gonna see a great defense playing against an offensive an offense that's going to be a lot of or that's going to have a lot of weapons, right?
Yeah,
To
it's
throw the
it's
ball
a
to
very nice matchup. Yeah, great
it's a
defense against
nice matchup,
a
yeah.
great offense. So yeah, it's Washington again. Part of the stats that are pretty impressive about this team is that they have won 21 straight games. 21 straight
Mm-hmm,
games for
mm-hmm,
Washington. They throw a lot, like I said. They like to throw it deep, especially as well. So
mm-hmm.
a lot of plays for more than 20 yards, more than 50 plays with more than 20 yards gain, and 17 total games with more than 300 yards. So that offense is scary as
Mm-hmm.
hell. And they beat Texas last week 37-31 just in the last few seconds, which again, a couple of games that were really exciting all the way to the end.
Yes, I was also looking at that. This team, these the weapons that Michael Penix has. It's for example, Rome Odunze, right? I guess that's how
Yeah,
you
we can do
pronounce.
better with the names. Come on, we're
Yeah,
gonna keep practicing. Okay, we promise that.
uh, 1,553 yards, 87 receptions, 13 touchdowns, right? So we have Jalen McMillan, 526 yards, 39 receptions, 4 touchdowns. In Jalen, I guess, Polk, right? 101.
Stop disrespecting the
One,
name. Put some respect on my name, okay?
yeah, 1,122 yards, 65 receptions, 9 touchdowns. So we have a combine of 26 touchdowns in 3 players, right? Um,
Yeah.
Definitely
That
something.
explains 4,648 yards that Penix
Yeah,
Jr. has thrown
exactly,
because
exactly.
he
So
has people to throw to.
definitely, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to cover, and actually because also Penix is very. It's a quarterback that's able to get rid of the
He is
ball
pretty crafty, yeah.
very fast,
He is
right?
pretty crafty, yeah.
So if you have the weapons and you are that good with your vision, right? Like throwing the ball, definitely it's going to be a tough match
Yeah, the
for the
defense needs to be
defense.
sharp if they want to stop this offense because every single little mistake is going to count six,
Exactly.
basically.
That's basically it.
So yeah, it's a pretty interesting matchup. Again, perfect seasons. I mean, it's like a fairy tale right now for each of the teams. And
And if we have that close game at the end of the fourth quarter, I would see. I would believe that definitely Washington will have the weapons to take the win.
all right, so that was going to be my question. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Washington. I want.
You got
I
Washington.
like the underdog here, so I'm taking Washington. Uh, if they're able to keep
The game with
the
the
game
distance.
in a good
Hmm.
distance, they're gonna take it.
Yeah, no,
Definitely.
I'm just keeping my money for Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking the Wolverines. I just don't. I see the stats. I mean, it's again, it's pretty impressive what they have been doing. It's
In,
crazy.
yeah. In terms of stats, I I I get it. I totally get it. It makes sense what you're saying. It's the rational choice. I'm going with the underdog. I mean, sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't, right?
Yeah,
But
it will be exciting. Like I don't have any preference for any of these teams. Like I'm not a fan of either of them. I'm just saying it seems like Michigan has everything they need, and not to mention that their head coach, it's pretty experienced. We talked about it earlier as well off camera. I mean a head coach that can literally coach at least 50% of the NFL teams right now,
oh, for
pretty
sure.
easily, and that it's also gonna matter a lot, right? How he handles the game for the team.
Yeah. However, you have in front of you, you have Callum, right? And he's 14-0 this year, right? 14-0. We already know that he's 25-2 in 2 seasons with Washington. And listen to this. He's 104 against 11 for his career. 11 losses.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
For
The
me,
coaching
that's
staff
that's
is
impressive. He knows how to win.
it is
He
100%
knows how to
impressive.
win. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it
It's a
goes.
great matchup on every
It's
single corner you look at, right? It's a great
everything's
offense against great offense, great defense against not that great defense. Maybe
yep.
that's the only knock on Washington again. Great coaching, so everything it's ready for this to be one for the ages.
Yes,
This might be
definitely.
one of those finals that is either greatly disappointing or highly remembered.
Yes. Yes, a lot of expectations in
Hopefully, it's
the
the
air.
second one, guys. Come on. Let's pray for it to be the second one. I want to
Yes,
remember this final
let's hope
forever.
for that. Yes. But yeah, it's going to be a great match. Um Another one in which you need to sit with a good beer, get
Some nice
comfortable in your
food.
couch, and
Yeah,
just
get ready. Check your heart.
enjoy. Well, that's I think that's enough right now for football, right?
That's an overdose
Almost.
of football already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think over almost an hour talking about football. So let's jump into a different topic. This is the universe of sports. So let's talk about something else. We have of course NBA right now happening regular season. Um, we have a couple of teams. Well, more than a couple of teams in a good straight, right? So we have the Boston Celtics 8-2 in the last 10. Definitely not something that we enjoy, but something that,
God damn it.
yes,
Why
something that's
Boston?
happening,
Why
right?
Boston? Well, why Boston? Let me tell you why. Because they have the better team right now in the NBA. I would say that they are the best team in the NBA right now. It's just they have too much talent. Tatum, Brown, Porzingis. I mean, the White. It's you name it. Like they have every single piece of the core, defensively and offensively, well covered right now, and it explains why they have this
I wouldn't
streak going.
disrespect Denver that much. I think Denver, even though they've had uh, some downs during the season, they're still the champions. They're still a great team. Um,
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
they have what it takes also to like to 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 get in like
not to
any of
mention that
those
they have
teams.
whatever type of like pact with whatever spirit or something force that it's helping them because I just don't know how Jokic like actually pulled that shot against the Warriors the other day. That shot
Yeah,
was insane. Like, and it was just pure luck. There is no other like
I don't know
literally.
if it's luck. I mean, it's. I mean, we.
I mean, you're doing
It's a
everything you can
great
for it to go in the direction
player.
that must go. It must go for it to have chances of going in. But you need the luck for that shot to, like, there is no way. Like, it's a bank shot. He's a contested. Like, he's off balance. Like everything that a coach will tell you not to do when you're shooting the basketball. That's the
But
perfect
it's
example of it,
different.
and it still go in.
It's different. I mean, we're talking about the. It's the last second of the
I
match.
know.
You just need to take the shot,
I
whatever
know.
in whatever position, if you're off balance or not. I mean,
I
we've
know.
seen it with
But you can't.
great
I mean,
players.
you
I
can't
mean,
tell me that's
2 time.
90% luck.
It's 2 time MVP player.
I know,
I mean,
but he's not accustomed to shooting that type of shot. Like it's not like he's Damian
he's
Lillard.
built for
It's
those
not like he's
moments.
Steph Curry. Right? Like those are the players you expect to shoot a shot like that. And
He- He's
Hash,
he's the type of player that's built with
he
that
is
talent.
special.
You know,
I'm
he's
not saying
special.
he's not special. I'm not saying he's a great player. Of
I
course
get
he
what you're
is.
saying. Yeah, he's not Steph Curry.
I'm just saying that they have
He's a
something
great
going
player.
on that it's more than just talent. Okay, like there is a bigger force helping them right now.
I don't know. I don't like. I get what you're saying. Of course, he has that. They have the force, right, on their end, definitely. But I don't think it's majorly luck. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
what
something that
what we
talent
can
brings, and not just talent.
yeah,
It's
100%, 100%.
it's what you
Like you
like,
have to put
what it's in
yourself in the
you, right,
position
and
for
you
it to
have
get
what
done.
it takes
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, so I still I think we both agree that the Western Conference still goes through Denver, right? Like
yeah,
whoever
definitely.
wants to go to the final has to beat Denver at some point. So yeah, totally agree that they're a great team.
Which it's the other team that it's in a good straight right now. The other one that we have, Clippers, right?
God damn it. Why? Like why
Yeah, I know, I
why the
know.
Clippers? Dude? Like where are my Lakers? That's all I'm at. Like come on guys.
In the opposite,
Come on.
in the opposite, exactly. I
Jesus,
mean,
bro.
8-2 in the
Yeah, we
last 10.
lost 8 of the last 10 games. That like LeBron said it the best way possible. We suck.
Yeah,
Like right now we suck. That's the only way you can
the
describe it.
Lakers. I mean,
And
and it's not that they.
it's
It's
been
not only that they suck. I mean, if it's against teams that you would say it's a
I
great
mean some
team.
of them were like they faced Boston, some other good teams within this streak, but I mean, there are a couple games right there. San Antonio, like there are teams that you say, well, we can match these teams and that we should be able to beat them. You know, like it might be a little bit more of a 50-50, but again,
New Orleans, for example.
I just don't know what's going on. Where did our magic go? Because again, I mean, the team they built in the off season didn't look this bad, like on
No, no,
paper.
definitely not.
Like, it's been a weird mechanic going on with the Lakers because when you look at their rotations, I mean, everything that they were trying last year that was working. Their starting lineup was D'Angelo Russell with I think it was Austin Reeves, LeBron, AD, and who else was there? I think it was Vanderbilt. I think it was the
Mhm.
starting lineup. They haven't been rolling with that starting lineup this year. I mean, they have
But
only
what
played.
happened? I mean, what happened after the in-season tournament? I
I
mean,
I, I don't know.
I have no idea. I mean,
I don't
they
know.
were. I know it's not. Um, it's not the most amazing tournament, right? Or it's not the trophy you're aspiring for, right? When you play in the NBA, but still, I mean, if you're playing well,
Yeah, you keep the momentum going. That's what you expect. But it seems like it was kind of like I guess that they enter a mentality of like if that was a movie or some sort of like fairy tale or something where they played the role and they understood that the league and the moment was just so great, right? Like at that point, everybody was paying attention. Everybody got excited about the in-season tournament. So it was a great business for the league, by the way. And it feels like the Lakers wanted to play that role. Like they got into the protagonist role. They
yeah,
obviously wanted, and then after that was over, like the movie was over, right? And so we don't need to be playing this role no more. And they go back to regular selves, and whatever that means, it's clearly not working.
yeah. I mean, what I expect for the Lakers is that they wake up. Um, well,
Should we expect?
they
What do you think?
they
We
they, they
should we?
just they just won against the Clippers. Just for you to know, 106 against the Clippers, 106
Oh, finally, okay.
Lakers, 103 Clippers. So finally, they got a victory that matters.
Because they need something to get
Because
going right now.
yeah, I mean, and it just finished. The game just ended. But definitely, I just hope for them to realize about this in January, hoping for
They
them to
need to
get
start
better,
acting now.
to get better,
Yeah,
going into February, March, April, right?
yeah.
With a
It's
different
it's important
mentality.
to start positioning yourself in the right place and start fighting for those top seeds. Because I mean, you still have LeBron James, yes, but it's his 19th season. Obviously, you know anything can go left at any
Yeah,
point. You know, any tweak ankle, anything like that. Bro, I'm gonna knock on wood or something because we need every
yeah,
piece of LeBron James, every piece of Anthony Davis, which we know that can be brittle as well and get injured
yeah,
pretty easily. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the roster. If things continue to go bad, maybe we start seeing some moves. I don't know what's going to happen with
yeah,
D'Angelo Russell. Maybe like there are some of these guys that are not playing consistently enough for the franchise they're playing in, which is, I guess, the biggest debate, right? Like once you understand you're part of the Lakers, there is no room for inconsistency.
no, 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 definitely not. But we've seen it, in not just for them, right? For Anthony Davis as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. But
So
right now,
he's delivering.
he's on the right side of the conversation.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, he's
he's playing
delivering.
his role. He's doing what he has to do. Same as LeBron. Everybody else is not showing up at all, or
Yeah,
not showing up consistently enough. And I think
yeah.
that's the biggest problem.
They're in the picture. They're still there in the fight. Let's hope for them to
For the
realize
sake
about
of the league,
what's
brother, for the sake of the league, the Lakers
yeah.
need to be in the postseason, and we all know it. I know Lakers haters, you're gonna be going crazy about that, but it is what
I
it
know you
is.
love this. I know you love this.
I know, you know what it is. The
Yeah.
postseason is not the same if the Lakers are not there.
But let's talk also about the Clippers then. I think they're doing great. They just lost against the Lakers,
It
but
seems like finally they are starting to do great because we're
yeah,
waiting for the Clippers to be great for the past 5 seasons or something, ever since Kawhi and Paul George got there, and they haven't been able to deliver. So it seems like they're finally rolling. It seems like James Harden is starting to look a little bit like his old self.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, we don't expect him to be the Houston Rockers James Harden no more, but I mean,
I don't think
if
so.
they can
Yeah,
get
but
35% of what that was, I think
I
that's
mean
still
50
pretty.
at least, right?
That's
But
still pretty decent, and they could potentially, you know, have an interesting run this year. Again, injuries is normally what causes them problems. We know it, but if they stay healthy, it's
they
gonna be
they
hard
could be
to beat them
the team
because it
to
seems like
beat,
they all have
right?
something to prove, right? Not to mention James Harden has a lot to prove, a lot, especially in the
A
postseason.
lot.
We know
Yeah.
that. Russell Westbrook still has a lot to prove because obviously he delivers, he plays with energy. There is a lot of things that are great about him,
He has everything to prove yet.
but
I mean,
he
he's a
still
great
needs.
player, but
He can prove a lot of things, especially if he wins. He can shut a lot of mouths, and I mean, just clearly, clearly define his legacy by winning. And Kawhi, again, they pay a lot of money to bring him in, and they brought Paul George to make him happy. And obviously, all of the other moves that are going on, and the roster they have, and the money that Ballmer is investing, it's clearly to please all these guys. And so he still needs to prove that he can win.
I mean, take a look at that roster. I mean,
It's full of
probably
former
one of the
stars.
best we've seen, we've ever seen, right? Like
Yeah.
it-
Obviously
with the
not all
names,
of them are
with
in their primes, and we
exactly with
understand
the
that it's not the
names.
same. Russell Westbrook is not the same. James Harden, but still they're highly productive, or at least they are right now, and they have a lot of chances of making something important happen. Hopefully not, but hopefully
But
not. But
yeah, no, no. I mean, I expect them to do great. I really hope that, right? Not to beat the Lakers, but I expect them at least to be decent this time. I mean, with the names that they have, it's the least that they can
they need to start
do.
winning. I mean, their ownership is investing a lot of money for real, and they're building a new stadium
New arena,
that's
yeah.
coming. So that's yeah, it will be very disappointed if they keep losing, especially if they keep losing early in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. We'll
what
see how it
else?
goes, but yeah, I mean, those are the definitely the teams that that are in a good in
Either
a
negative or bad stretch right now. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, then well, we have talking about NBA, kind of recent news, right? Yesterday, Draymond Green's suspension has been lifted off.
so he might be coming soon. Yeah, and boy, do the Warriors
He
need
might
him.
need 1 week, right, um, to start playing again in games. So we'll see how it goes, but definitely the Warriors need him.
They need him
They
because
need the good Draymond Green. I'm not talking about the good person. I
the
mean
player. Yeah,
the good player.
yeah. If they
Right.
want to make a final run on all these dynasty era, I think it's. I mean, they all need to click back to a little bit of what they were good at and focus on that. And especially now, because I think if I'm not wrong, because I think I saw it earlier today or yesterday that Chris Paul got injured as well. I think he got a broken hand or something.
Yes.
So he's gonna probably be out for a couple of weeks. And now that Draymond Green is coming back, I think that's even more necessary for them, that he
Yeah.
comes back focused, that he comes back locked in, and that he plays his game. Because again, what they need is for him to just be playing his game. That's it.
To be the defensive player he used to be, to collaborate with the team, to, you know, to put his mind
Yeah,
into
for
the
sure.
game.
And watch out for the
That's it.
Warriors and their front office trying to move pieces as well. Because I've been hearing rumors about Pascal Siakam maybe being in the radar, maybe
Mhm.
potential trades for them that could happen. Zach Levine is another one of those that could be an interesting fit for them. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors bring in some players as well during the trade about or before the trade deadline. So
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. The next probably couple of weeks, right? How everything, um, fits with Draymond into the panorama again. But yeah, we'll see how it goes with the Warriors with Draymond Green. He's gonna be uh, he's gonna have
yeah,
the
he
lights on
needs to
him.
start focusing on what matters if
Everything
he wants
he'll
to for
do,
his teams to do better because
yeah. But everything he'll do,
it's gonna be under
d-
the scope. Yeah, because
definitely. I mean,
everybody's gonna be looking, and if he moves a finger in the wrong direction,
everyone's gonna
he's gonna
talk
be
about
out
it,
again.
and
Yeah,
he's gonna, yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's about basketball, NBA, regular season. We'll see how it goes. All-Star games
coming soon.
coming
Yeah,
soon. Yeah,
the year's
half of
just
the
starting for the
season.
NBA. We can
Yeah,
say obviously this time of the year, everything's still kind of figuring things out. It's starting to heat up, again, and then the moves
everything's
that might
shaping
be
right
coming.
now. Everything's
Yeah,
shaping. So we'll see how it goes. Also, well, apart from NBA, we have tennis as well. We have the Australian Open coming in the next weeks. With kind of sad news, right, for tennis
lovers and
fans.
fans. Yeah,
It doesn't matter if you like Federer or if you like Djokovic or if you like Nadal or if you like the new blood, right, that it's coming. Definitely, it's sad to see that Nadal uh, will be dropping off Australian Open due to
yeah,
another injury. Definitely something that for all the fans, for tennis fans, it's a player that it's a different player, right?
yeah.
It's
You want to see him play? That's pretty
once
much
in a
it.
lifetime.
Yeah,
Well, maybe twice in a lifetime player,
every
right?
time you have a chance to see him,
Yeah.
pretty
So
much.
pretty much
It,
his career. I know we know. I guess we all know his career is coming to an end pretty soon. We already had to say bye to Roger, right?
yeah,
Which was tough.
it was.
And definitely seeing a player like him uh, dropping another major tournament because of an injury.
Yeah,
It's kind of devastating, right? This is
it
not the way
is.
you want to see a
It is
player.
terrible. It is terrible, and he has tried. I bet he's hardest to be in good shape, to be healthy. He has taken care of his body, but his body is not responding, and obviously it has to do with age. I mean, we can't blame him at this point. He has so many minutes on his legs, so many years of competing at the highest level, delivering the highest quality of tennis we have seen, obviously in the past 20 years, as part of that group of great talents. And yeah, it's awful. It's awful to see him potentially going out like this, right? Because again, he might come back, he might not. Who
Hmm.
knows? For other majors this year, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, every time he misses a tournament like this, it's obviously a big loss for the sport.
Yes, definitely. And he mentioned when he came back in Brisbane, um, he mentioned that it was going to take him at least 3 months, right, for him to be
To recover
at
again,
his
yeah.
top, right. However, new injury, a different one, right? So
Which is the
we'll
problem. It's the clear indication in his case that like you said, he's coming to an his career is coming to an end,
coming
because
to an
it's not that he is re-injuring the same thing. It's now something else, and who knows what
Yeah.
happens after he recovers from that one. Again, it's gonna be tough to stay healthy
At
at
that
that
age.
stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just hope for him to be able to close his career. I admire him, to be honest. I just hope for him to be able to close his career with greatness as his career has been, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes as well for him. Hopefully, we'll see him in during the clay season. That's what I'm expecting, actually.
Yeah.
For him to be able at least to play Roland Garros this year.
Yeah, which will be
It's his
I
tournament.
guess that yeah, that will be the ultimate goal for him, right? To retire playing that tournament. If it feels like the right thing for his career,
And just to
for
be
what
clear,
that tournament
we're
meant for
not
him.
retiring him, right?
No, of
We're
course
not
not.
retiring him yet.
But it seems like it's the right, like, even if he wants to keep playing 2 more years, if this is gonna be the same
Cycle.
thing
Yeah.
and cycle happening all over again, I guess at that point, again, we are not him. We are not pushing for him to retire, but it's just kind of like the obvious thing to think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's
I
time.
think it's time. I just I hope not. Like for me, like I wish I could see him play for I don't know 5, 7, 10 more years.
Maybe he
But
will use this as a motivation. You know, if you're watching, I'll say, if you're watching, Rafa, I mean, I want to
Yeah.
see you play 1 more year. Shut my mouth, all right? Or 2 more years, or maybe five. I don't know.
Yeah.
You decide.
But yeah, let's
But
hope
yeah,
for
it's
him
it's an awful
to
loss.
play.
Hopefully, we still see a great tournament in the Australian Open. It's always a great tournament, really fun to watch.
Yes.
So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. We still have a lot of great talent playing. So we'll see
A
what
lot
happens
of
with that.
youth.
A lot of, yeah,
Yeah.
because we're seeing the new blood, like you said, coming and establishing their position. So
Yes.
we'll
Yes.
see if Djokovic
Trying
is,
to
try Djokovic is literally trying to carry that old school,
yeah.
like all of them are in the back of Djokovic right now, and we'll see if
In
he
big shoes that the new blood needs to cover, right? It
oh
needs
yeah,
to like to fit.
we're talking about, for me,
And
the greatest era of tennis,
definitely
easily,
I mean,
easily.
yeah,
So it's not gonna be
by
easy to
far
see
it's
some of these guys or people like them anytime soon. And yet, there's still great talent.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the problem is that these kids, like you said, have a big pair of shoes to fill, and it's not gonna be easy. But they are still
Like
great.
6 different shoes.
They are still great.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes with Australia. Great tournament, as you said. Um, and it's also good when the tennis season starts. So
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. A lot of good expectations.
yeah. This
In
is
the
just
in
the
the
beginning of the
upcoming
year,
weeks.
and we have so many great things going on in the
Yeah.
sports world. And again, seasons that are coming, like the tennis season, the baseball season is gonna be coming. It's around the corner. When you see, we're talking about spring games and
Yes.
all that, so that's coming as well. I mean, we haven't talked about soccer, football, whatever you guys call it, whatever
Yeah.
you're at.
Yeah.
So, and that's also going to be coming strong. Champions League is going to be coming back
Champions League.
this year. We have the what is it? The
Copa
Europa, yeah, Copa
America.
America. We have
Eurocopa.
Eurocopa, European Cup, or whatever the name is.
Yeah.
So we
In
have
English.
in English. Yeah, we talk Spanish, all right. So if
Yeah.
you hear us saying some names in Spanish, that's why. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of things that we're gonna be having in upcoming episodes. So if you don't want to miss any of those, remember to go hit the subscribe button. You already know how to do it. You can follow us on our socials. We have an upcoming episode next Friday where we're going to be talking a lot more about the NFL postseason, like we said before, and many, many other things that are going to be obviously happen throughout the week because you know how sports go. There is emotions every single minute. You blink
Every
and
single
something is
day.
happening.
Yeah.
Somebody's scoring a goal, somebody's dropping a bucket, somebody's catching a ball. Something is happening right now as we're talking. All right. So we're going to be talking about that every single week.
Week. Definitely. So I think we're coming to an end. I think we
That's
cover.
a lot that we
Yeah,
covered
we
today. So,
covered a
yeah.
lot of different topics today.
And if you're not happy with the content today, again, and if you're not satisfied with the amount of topics we cover, we have another episode on Friday. So I don't want to repeat myself, okay? But yeah, you don't want to miss it.
Definitely, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We enjoy talking about these things.
Yeah,
We love it.
yeah.
I
We've
mean,
been
this is
we've
what
been
we
waiting
do
for this
every
episode to come
day.
for so
It's a
long. We have been
project that it's been
planning, and it's been months
yeah,
and months and
months
months
and months of
of
planning
this. So
of building something that uh, I don't know that just fill our
it's,
hearts
I mean,
right
our
every
yeah,
day and
our hearts and our souls are exploding right now. You cannot see it potentially through a camera because that's not captured by camera, okay? But
yeah.
yeah, we're very happy and thrilled about what's coming and great things that we're planning to do with this project. So we appreciate the love from now. Again, if you want to share and if you're still here at this point of the episode, we appreciate you. And yeah, feel free to share it with your friends. Show some love in the comments. We're gonna be paying attention to each and every single one of them because we want all of that feedback as well. And yeah, we have a lot of great sections that are gonna be coming to the show as well in the
Yeah,
upcoming
this is
episodes.
just
So
the beginning. I
it is
mean,
just the
we haven't
beginning.
even started, you know, like it's gonna be
Let's go,
amazing. It's gonna be great.
my
So
guy. It's been an honor.
always good to
It's been a
see you.
pleasure. We'll be
So
talking more later this week. Stay tuned, guys.
see you.
Peace.